I think that book means that everyone is alike, whether you obviously we don't have stars, but everyone is the same no matter what, and we're just all treated equally.
I think it meant to me that everyone is equal and you can't change who you are.
Oh, hello children. Today we're reading a wonderful book called The Sneetches by Dr. Seuss. Now the star-belly Sneetches had bellies with stars. The plain belly Sneetches had none upon theirs. Those stars weren't so big, they were really so small. You might think such a thing wouldn't matter at all.
But because they had stars, all the star-belly Sneetches would brag, "We're the best kind of Sneetch on the beaches." With their snoots in the air, they would sniff and they'd snort. "We'll have nothing to do with the plain belly sort." And whenever they met some, when they were out walking, they'd hike right on past them without even talking.
When the star-belly children went out to play ball, could a plain belly get in the game? Not at all. You only could play if your bellies had stars, and the plain belly children had none upon theirs.
When the star-belly Sneetches had Frankfurter roast on, or picnics, or parties, or marshmallow toasts, they never invited the plain-belly Sneetches. They left them out cold in the dark of the beaches. They kept them away, never let them come near, and that's how they treated them year after year.
Then one day, it seems, while the plain-belly Sneetches were mopping and dopping alone on the beaches, just sitting there wishing their bellies had stars, a stranger zipped up the strangest of cars. "My friends," he announced in a voice clear and keen, "my name is Sylvester McBean, and I've heard of your troubles. I've heard you're unhappy, but I can fix that. I'm the fix-it-up chappie. I've come here to help you. I have what you need, and my prices are low, and I work great speed, and my work is 100% guaranteed."
Then quickly, Sylvester McBean put together a very peculiar machine, and he said, "You want stars like a star-belly Sneetch? My friends, you can have them $3 each. Just pay me your money and hop right aboard." So they clambered inside. Then the big machine roared, and it clunked, and it bumped, and it jerked, and it burped, and it bopped them about. But the thing really worked. When the plain-belly Sneetches popped out, they had stars. They actually did. They had stars upon stars.
Then they yelled at the one who had stars at the start. We're exactly like you. You can tell us apart. We are all just the same. Now, you snooty old smarties. And now we can go Frankfurter parties. Good grief, groaned the one who had stars at the first. We're still the best Sneetchers, and they are the worst. But now how in the world will we know? They all frowned, if which kind is what, or others way around.
Then up came McBean with a very sly wink, and he said, "Things are not quite as bad as you think. So you don't know who's who? That is perfectly true. But come with me, friends. Do you know what I'll do? I'll make you again the best Sneetches on beaches, and it will all cost you and all it will cost you is $10 eaches."
"Belly stars are no longer in style," said McBean. "That what you need is a trip through my star-off machine. This wondrous contraption will take off your stars, so you won't look like Sneetches who have them on theirs. And that handy machine, working very precisely, removed all the stars from their tummies quite nicely."
Then with snoots in the air, they paraded about and opened their beaks and let out a shout. We know who is who. There isn't a doubt. Now there isn't a doubt. The best kind of Sneetches are Sneetches without.
Then, of course, those with stars all got frightfully mad to be wearing a star. Now was frightfully bad. Then, of course, old chauffeur's D. McMonkey McBan Bean invited them into his star-off machine. Then, of course, from then on, as you probably guesses, things really got into a horrible mess.
All the rest of that day on those wild screaming beaches, the fix-it-up chappie kept fixing up Sneetches. Off again, on again, in again, out again. Through the machines they raced round and about again. Changing their stars every minute or two, they kept paying money. They kept running through, until neither the plane nor the starbellies knew whether this one was that one, or that one was this one, or which one was what one, or what one was who.
Then, when every last cent of their money was spent, the fix-it-up chappie packed up and he went. And he laughed as he drove his car up the beach. They never will learn. No, you can't teach a Sneetch.
But McBean was quite wrong. I'm quite happy to say that the Sneetches got really quite smart on that day. The day they decided that the Sneetches are Sneetches, and no kind of Sneetch is the best on the beaches. That day all the Sneetches forgot about stars and whether they had one or not upon the stars.
Okay, the story about the Sneetches means that the ones with stars thought they were better than the ones without stars, and then the ones without stars kept trying to do everything that the ones with stars were doing to make them just as cool as them. But then they got so caught up in the mess that they forgot which one was which, and at the end of the day, they just learned that they were all the same.
I thought that book meant if you have a star or not, you still matter no matter what.
Pooh, pooh, pooh to your belly star.